Going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy J-Narc, aka Crystal World, and today we are rebuilding the Baltimore Ravens, one of the other teams I haven't done yet. And I'm going to show you what the team looks like. This is after all their signings and I think the first and second round draft picks. Obviously we have Lamar Jackson here, J.K. Dobbins. They signed Sammy Watkins. They drafted Rashad Bateman, and what? Why is Nick Bowl a superstar? What? Nick Bowles is a superstar tight end. Okay. Offensive line isn't too bad. Still needs some upgrades, I'd say. Ronnie Stanley's elite at that left tackle position. They signed Alejandro Villanueva to be the right tackle from the Seahawks. Not the Seahawks, the Steelers. Linebackers, we just have Patrick Queen, LJ Fort. They have Pernell McPhee. This is the guy they drafted, Jason Away. He's on the outside. He's backing him up. Corners are pretty good. D-line is actually pretty solid as well. They just need a second D tackle, but nonetheless, the squad looks pretty solid. And let's see if there's any free agents we could sign. I would love to sign Mitchell Schwartz, but I don't think that'd be realistic enough. But Sheldon Richardson, I feel like would be someone they sign to the team as to be like that second D tackle and have that great rotation on the D line. So there's not really much I would have to really do with the offense. I mean, I could sign a center. I'm gonna start J.K. Dobbins over Gus Edwards. Could sign a center though, but I don't think there's a need to. I mean, if there's a solid center that's a free agent, then I'll get after him. But let's see what they got available. Austin Rader is the only one here. Would that be a bad thing? I mean, Ozzie Newsome is known for making a lot of moves during free agency, so I guess that's fine. We could just pick him up, and then I guess we just leave it at that. We're just gonna make sure everyone gets their upgrades, make sure we have people scouted properly. So let's get all that done and see how we do at the end of the season. Ooh, so we just lost to the Bengals 17-0, but it looks like we got a first round bye. We went 12-4, so that's really good. If you look at the bracket, we were the #1 seed. Buccaneers were the #1 seed as well. We see that the Eagles, Rams, Lions, Packers, Seahawks, and Cardinals made the playoffs. In the AFC, we have the Jaguars, who were the 2nd seed, who had Trevor Lawrence starting, and the Jets had Zach Wilson. So pretty interesting to see how all these guys made it. I'm gonna upgrade everyone here, and then we're gonna take a look statistically on how well we did, because we ended up going 12-4, so we only took 4 L's. So let's take a look at that. Browns went 11-5, so our offense was 19th, and then our defense was 1st. We had the #1 ranked defense, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks for Lamar Jackson. J.K. Dobbins had 934 yards, 4 TDs. Receiving, Sammy Watkins had 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, pretty solid. Rashad Bateman, not too bad either for his rookie season. Marquise Brown, pretty solid as well. And Mark Andrews, of course, solid. Calais Campbell had 12 sacks. Pernell McPhee had 5. Patrick Queen had 5. Brandon Williams had 3.5. Tyus Bowser had 2.5. Got a good amount of interceptions on the defense, so that's pretty nice to see. So it looks like our defense made some great plays. We went 12-4. Browns went 11-5. Bengals went 7-9, and Steelers went 6-10. So Buccaneers overall went 13-3. So they were the best seed in the NFL, the best record, which is pretty interesting to see. Let's take a look at the team real quick before we advance into the playoffs. So offense, Ronnie Stanley's at 97. Lamar went up to 98. J.K. Dobbins is an 82. Sammy Watkins is an 85 now. Nick Bowl is still that superstar at that tight end position. I don't know how. LJ Fort and Patrick Queen both progressed nicely. We have good D linemen, good corners, good safeties. I'm liking how the team's looking right now. So let's advance, see who we're playing in the wild card. In the wild card, we are playing the 10-6 Patriots. So let's see who the Patriots had on their team, who they ended up starting. So they started Cam Newton, who threw 43 touchdowns, 12 picks. So Cam Newton had a great year, obviously, from the looks of it. And they had Hunter Henry, Nelson Aguilar, who both took off. So that's something to think about as well. And defense, they had Matthew Judon with 10.5 sacks and Christian Barmore with 9.5. And in picks-wise, Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, and Jonathan Jones. So their 3 starting quarterbacks had 12 picks total. So that's amazing. So I want to see what the Jets had with Zach Wilson. He threw 36 touchdowns, 3 picks, so he went off, of course. And then second-seeded Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence threw 39 touchdowns and 6 picks. So these rookies really did take off. But we got Lamar Jackson here. And it looks like, so the Patriots ended up beating Cam ended up beating Trevor Lawrence. So now he's coming to play us. And we got Zach Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. So we're going to face one of those guys. So let's see how we do. We're facing the 10-6 Patriots. Our first game at home. We won 42-27. 42-27. And the Jets ended up beating the Chiefs 41-35 in the first in their first game view injury report. Sammy Watkins has a partial MCL tear, so he's going to be out for 6 weeks. Luckily, we have other receivers that could step up in this position. So we're in the conference championship now. We just beat, honestly, kind of just blasted the Patriots. I want to see how the game went, actually. And then the NFC is Seahawks Buccaneers. So let's take a look at our game. So we had Lamar Jackson threw 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Cam Newton threw 3 picks and got sacked once. So we had a great game. We had a great rushing game too. Rashad Bateman had 5 catches, 143 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Marquise Brown also 8 as well. That's pretty nice to see. Defense is where it was at. Patrick Queen got a sack, and then Chuck Clark got 2 picks along with Marcus Peters. So that's pretty nice to see that our defense really clicked. So we have the #1 defense. I guess you could do really well. So we're facing the 11-5 Jets. That's Zach Wilson and company. So we ended up losing to them. Wow. We ended up losing to them. They beat us 24-19 to 13, and the Buccaneers ended up beating the Seahawks 38-22. So it'll be Zach Wilson versus Tom Brady. Very interesting. I'm kind of surprised that we lost that, but I mean, normally, simulation never goes our way. But let's see who made the Pro Bowl for our guys. So quarterback-wise, no one. AFC though, Patrick Ricard. I don't know if he's on team still, but receivers, Mark Andrews made it. Ronnie Stanley made it. Yeah, sorry about that. No one else did. Calais Campbell did. Linebackers, LJ Fort. Cornerbacks, safeties, none of our guys. So we had the #1 ranked defense, but I guess our guys weren't that good enough to make it. Okay. But upgrades available. Sammy Watkins gets an upgrade. I feel like he might have got Offensive Player of the Year. We'll find out. We'll find out in a moment. Let's see. As we got Buccaneers versus Jets, I feel like Buccaneers are going to win. So the Jets end up winning the Super Bowl. Zach Wilson got MVP. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Jalen Hurts. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Isaiah Simmons. Defensive Player of the Year went to Roquan Smith. Offensive Player of the Year went to Jared Goff. MVP went to Baker. And Coach of the Year went to Matt Patricia. Wow. So Zach Wilson won MVP for the Super Bowl and beating Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. That's crazy. They started out as the 3rd seed and just went all the way. That's amazing to see. But, okay. Not too bad, I'd say. Not too bad. We have Sheldon Richardson here who wants a $9 million for 1 year. Not worth it. Sam Coach, punter. I'll keep you around. Pretty solid. He thinks free agency will be better for him. Franchise tag will be $8 million. We're going to let all these guys walk, as hence we do not need them. So we're going to splurge again in free agency. See if we can get that team over the hump so we can go to the Super Bowl this time. Quarterbacks, obviously we have Lamar. We're good there. We have J.K. Dobbins, who almost had 1,000 yards. Receivers are pretty good. Not worried about that. Tight ends are good. Kelvin Benjamin's here. Just noticed that. We could sign Cameron Irvin just to have a backup. I think he'd be a very solid backup to have. Left guard is Bradley Bozeman. Center, we need a center, so I think we should try to draft someone. We have Kevin Zeitler, who's there for 1 more year. And we have Alejandro Villanueva, who'd be there for 1 more year. We can sign Dean Lowry, just to have that depth on the team, just in case we need to start him over Derek Wolfe. D tackles, we can sign PJ Hall. He's a good scheme fit, and he would fit in well with the defense. We have Calais Campbell, who's regressing just a little bit, so we have to keep that in mind. Then we have Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison, and then Jason Oweh is at that side. So we're gonna need a #2 to pair up with Patrick Queen, but I think we're fine for right now. Safeties are good. Kicker, punter, all good. So let's advance to next week, see if we sign any of those guys. We get PJ Hall, Dean Lowry in the backup, so that's pretty good. Sammy Watkins is back from injury. It's not really anyone else that we want from free agency. So 5th-year options is probably going to be Lamar Jackson. Yes, sir. We're going to give him a 5th-year option. Yes. That's our MVP. 1 MVP in like his 2nd or 3rd year. So, of course, we got to pick up his 5th-year option. And then let's advance to the next week. And now we have the draft. So I don't know what pick we have. We have the 30th pick in the draft. So let's see what's available for us. All right, so 30th pick in the draft with the players available. We could go with a lot of positions here that could help us out. Obviously, linebacker positions could help. Middle linebacker, of course. I don't mind the right outside linebacker position. Getting someone like Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas wouldn't be too bad. I don't think that would be too bad. If we could get a middle linebacker, maybe like Derek Yancey. He's a mid-first rounder. He's a run stopper. Well, we could get someone in the third round like Sean Freeman. I don't think would be too bad. So let's go with Eric Thomas, 73 overall. We get him for depth purposes. Let's go to the next pick. So now we're in the second round. What we could do here, I feel like we could go right tackle. Honestly, offensive line wouldn't be too bad. Getting that future position settled. So we have Matt Walton here. Oh no! I didn't mean to draft him. Damn. Now the draft's over. I gotta ascend to the end of the draft. After we messed up the second pick in the draft, this is the rest of how the rest of the draft went. So obviously, that was an L, but you know, let's upgrade the players. LJ4 is still here. He made it to the Pro Bowl. Interesting. So I'm gonna show you what the team looks like. We regressed a little bit on defense, but Patrick Carr is back at the center position. We're gonna see if there's any free agents that we can pick up to put at that position. Defense, still pretty much the same. We have Jason Oweh though at that position. D-line is still pretty solid. Corners are still pretty good. Pernell McPhee did have 5 sacks, so let's just see what his cap is looking like, just so we know what we're doing. Pernell McPhee. Okay, so it's fine to keep him around for depth purposes, so I'm not too mad about that. Alright, so that's what we're doing with that. So we're gonna send to the playoffs and see if we could be the #1 seed again. Oh, so we had a down year. We ended up going 7-9, not too bad, but obviously we went from going to the Conference Championship to not making the playoffs at all. So we obviously have some work to do here. Let's see how we did statistically. Our offense was ranked 18th, and our defense was ranked, 27th. So our defense went down. Lamar Jackson obviously had a solid year. Gus Edwards had 13 rushing touchdowns. Sammy Watkins, another solid year, 1,200 yards, 11 TDs. Defense, Patrick Queen had 4 picks, led the team in tackles. Calais Campbell only had 7 sacks. Patrick Queen led the team in picks as well. So he's obviously becoming our gem of the team. So let's send to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is Cowboys-Browns this year. Let's see who takes it. The winner this year was the Cowboys. Let's take the 2021 season recap. MVP went to Mahomes. Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. Matt Ryan won Offensive Player of the Year. Mike Hunt won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive end Ray Waters won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Trevon Diggs, cornerback for the Cowboys, won the MVP of the Super Bowl. And Roquan Smith won Defensive Player of the Year. So we have 12 players ready to negotiate. We have Mark Andrews here. Obviously a star tight end. Definitely got to keep him around, of course. We get him back. Brandon Williams is getting old, so we're going to let him walk. We have Deshaun Elliott, safety, who we're going to definitely want to keep around. Pretty solid safety. We're going to let Brandon Williams go, of course. We have Patrick Ricard here, solid fullback. We know we don't need to pay fullback this much. We're just going to sign him because he fits the scheme. We have Bradley Bozeman, guard, pretty solid. We get him back. We have Anthony Everett. See if we get him back on a little cheap deal here. $6 million over 2 years. Pretty solid. Justin Ellis is 68. Geno Stone as a backup. Tyler Huntley. We'll give him like an extensive deal. And so he'll be our ultimate backup. The ultimate backup we have. We'll sign Chris Board just to have depth purposes on the team. We get him. And then Geno Stone I don't think would be too bad to sign for the backup position. So that's pretty good with me. And then Patrick McCarry is a center. We could end up drafting someone, so I'm going to wait on that. We're going to let Brandon Williams go as he is about to turn 34 this upcoming year. So now that we're here, we have about $6 million available in cap. Lamar Jackson is a 99, of course. We got a lot of players here that we don't want to move, obviously. But it's looking like eventually we will have to make a move soon. Like, for example, Tavon Young wouldn't be too bad of a move to get rid of. But for right now, we're going to keep the team kind of the same and see if we can, like, draft players. But if there's anyone that strikes me in free agency, I'll make a move. Oh, they got Jair here, but we have a pretty solid receiver core, so not too worried about that. And Foyesada Lacuna will fit the scheme perfectly, being next to Patrick Queen. But what we do need is a D tackle, though. We need to get a D tackle for Lorenzo Fatakwasi, See if we can give him a light deal, maybe a light deal for him. See if we can get him. But we're obviously going to address the position. And at right end, Calais Campbell did retire, which I just noticed. So got to keep that in mind. Corners are good. Safeties are good. So the defense is still pretty solid. We just need to make sure that we have the backups in those positions kind of like sorted out, just so during the season they're not under duress. But alright, so we tried for those free agents. Let's see if we can get them. Those are mainly just like backups, players that we're trying to just see if they would come onto the team. So we get Duke Dawson, but the D tackle rejected us, so probably gonna have to overload on the defensive side of things in the draft. So that's fine with me. Hence we did go 7-9. So we have to address those positions. We have the 15th pick in the draft. With the 15th pick in the draft, let's see who's available. So obviously I see a D tackle named Timothy Hobbs. He's an early first rounder, run stopper, fits the scheme. Well, let's draft him. 77 overall, perfect. We just got our new D tackle. In the 3rd round, we could address another D tackle just so we could really be stout, so we really have the players we need. Let's see, any other scouted players. A middle linebacker wouldn't be too bad. Honestly, offensive line wouldn't be too bad either. I want to see if there's a guard or a center available. So they got tackles, but I want to see if they have a center. They don't have a center. Left guard is just a bunch of 3rd round guys. Left end, right end. Right end, they have players, but left outside, obviously. Right outside, obviously. Okay, so we could just go middle linebacker here. We could get Montel Overstreet just for depth purposes. We get him. And then in the 3rd round, we'll get another D tackle. 3rd round is a D tackle for us. This is fine with me. We have Jason Forbes here, who's a late 1st rounder. Then we also have Corey Matthews, who's an early 2nd rounder, and he fits our scheme. So we're gonna get Corey Matthews. We're pretty solid. So now we have our D tackle set up. We're here. Now let's see what offensive line they have available. So at center, in the 4th round, they have Dalton Russell available. He's a late 3rd round center. He fits the scheme. How about Zach Kershaw? He's a mid 3rd rounder, and he's pretty solid too. So I'm gonna go with Zach Kershaw, 60 overall. We're gonna see how he performs. And then we're going to send to the end of the draft and see what else we pick. Now, let's look at the rest of the draft. After we drafted the center, we got a left outside, a right outside, and a left tackle. So that's pretty nice to see that we kind of try to shore up those positions. Yeah, it seems kind of weird having a 68 overall center start, but we're going to just see how he develops. I feel like he'll play pretty nicely. And we do need a right tackle, though, which is where I messed up on. Should have got a right tackle. But if there's a free agent available, we'll go after him, of course, but there isn't, so we're just gonna have to make do with that. So I'm thinking we're gonna be pretty solid, so let's send to the playoffs and see if that's the case. So we ended up making the playoffs, going 9-7. We're facing the 11-5 Bills, so it's pretty good to see that we made it back into the playoffs. 87 offense, 84 defense. So we went 9-7, being the 3rd seed in our division. Browns went 10-6 and Bengals went 10-6, so we all made the playoffs from the looks of it. Our offense was 14th, and our defense was, let's see, it doesn't have a rank, but we had 32 touchdowns, 13 picks for Lamar. J.K. Dobbins had a lot of rushing yards, 3 TDs. We picked up a guy named Jose Pinkney, interesting. Sammy Watkins almost had 1,000 yards again, pretty solid, of course. Patrick Queen had 3 sacks, led the team in tackles. Tyus Bowser had 6 sacks. Timothy Hobbs had 4.5. And then picks, we had a good amount of interceptions for the defense. So our team was pretty solid this year, which I like to see. We have an 87 offense now and an 84 defense. That center became a 70 overall, so it wasn't as high as I expected him to. Our receivers are looking pretty good, though. Looking really good. J.K. Dobbins is now an 85. And then at defense, Patrick Queen's an 82. Malik Harrison's a 76. So we have a good 2 combo at the middle linebacker position. At D-line, we have Hobbs, PJ Hall, and another kid. I don't know if he made the team now. But our DNs are not that solid, but we have Hobbs, the rookie we drafted, leading the way. So we're facing 11-5 Bills. Let's see if we could crush their hearts. We do. We ended up winning 31-7, beating them at their place. So it was really a butt whooping as we're facing Lamar Jackson and the Chiefs. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Well, let's see how that game went. Actually, I want to know how we crushed them at home. So we limited them. Josh Allen got sacked twice and did nothing offensively, but we were there all over offensively. All of our running attacks, our passing attack, defense was probably stifling them. Patrick Queen and Hobbs had a sack, and Tremaine Edmonds picked us off, but looks like we just shut them down, which I really like to see. Defense really was clamps. So we're facing the 13-3 Chiefs. I think we were the 7th seed. We were, so we broke their hearts, beat them. So let's see if we can shock the world. Browns just won 50-28 against the Broncos, so let's keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's see. Hopefully, we could upset Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We do not. We ended up losing 35-7. 35-7. We get another heartbreaking loss of the season. Let's see how that game went. Actually, let's see. Browns ended up beating the Bengals, of course. So Patrick Mahomes had a great game. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. We had 3 picks, got sacked 3 times. Their rushing attack was all over us. Chris Jones killed us. Leon Jacobs killed us. And they got a good amount of picks on us too. So we definitely got to upgrade. Definitely have to maybe go after a star receiver. Maybe that'll change things up. But Super Bowl is Chiefs, Packers. Let's see who made the Pro Bowl. Lamar Jackson did, of course. Patrick Ricard. Any of our receivers? No one. Tight ends? No one. Ronnie Stanley made it. No one from the offensive line. Defense? Nobody really. That Yancey kid made it, who I wanted to draft too. Cornerback, safeties? No one from the looks of it. So very interesting how that went. But we have Chiefs, Packers in the Super Bowl, which should have been this past Super Bowl. But the winners were the Packers, as they won 42-21. Aaron Rodgers won Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes won regular season MVP. Roquan Smith again 3 years in a row, winning Defensive Player of the Year. So he's been becoming really solid. We have 17 players ready to negotiate. Number 1, of course, is Lamar Jackson. $266 million is what he wants. We have to give him that. We have to. I mean, there's not a chance in hell we let him walk. So we just break the bank for him. How about that? So we get Lamar Jackson back. Marcus Peters wants a 1-year deal. We're going to let him walk. We're going to let Sammy Watkins walk as well. But Marquise Brown is someone we definitely want to keep. Rashad Bateman as well. So let's Tyus Bowser, I want to re-sign as well. Jay Hall here, of course. 1-year deal. I mean, it's pretty solid, so we keep him around. He thinks free agency will be better for him, so we're going to let him go. DNs, so corners, we have Iman Lewis Marshall, so we definitely want to see if we keep him around. Josh Oliver is our 3rd tight end, so he'll definitely want to stay. He's going to test free agency. Trace McSorley, we already have our ultimate backup. And Villanueva, we're letting go. Derek Wolfe, we're letting go. Dean Lowry, might just keep him around. He would like to play for a new team next year, so we're going to let him go. Tavon Young wants roughly like $5 million. So let's see if he stays. He does, so we keep him around. Kevin Zealer, we're going to let go. I want to keep Marquise Brown. That's a receiver we definitely got to keep for Lamar. So we get him back onto the team. Sammy Watkins and Marcus Peters, though, we're going to let walk. If anything, we'll just release them just so that we can save some cap. Yeah, so Marcus Peters, we're going to release him. He were great for us, but it's time for us to elevate. Same thing with Sammy Watkins. And we got to really see what players we can get after next to help us out to push for the playoffs. But let's advance to the next week. The free agents available here. We got $30 million available. Kareem Hunt's a free agent. Rashawn Gary is his name. Is a free agent as well. Let's see. Tight ends are good, of course. Receivers, I will want to sign Jamar Chase because he's pretty young, and there's no reason why he's a free agent, so we're going to obviously go after him. Ronnie Stanley, of course, Bradley Bozeman. Center is a position that we haven't really been taking care of a lot, so I feel like, well, we have Kershaw here, so I really want to develop him, and then we can maybe give like someone like David DeCastro a 1-year deal, see how he performs with the team. If he wants to sign with us. Now, right tackle, we could sign Caleb McGarry as he's only 28, and it wouldn't be too bad to pick him up. And then left end, we have no one there. Chase Winovich would be a perfect scheme fit for us. So let's see if we get anyone here. So we get Caleb McGarry, Jamar Chase, and David DeCastro. Interesting. So we make those moves. So Now it's a factor on whether or not we want to make some moves to try to get him. So Nick Bowl, as great as he is, we don't need to have a solid tight end like that. We already have Mark Andrews, so hopefully us releasing him could give me enough cap room to try to go after Chase Winovich. Obviously, the Patriots are showing a lot of interest. Hopefully that will work. Linebackers, I don't really want to change anything. And corners, we could draft a corner if need be, so I'm not really too worried about that. We also have Tavon Young. So let's see if we can get Chase Winovich. Hopefully we could get him to sign with us. He rejected our offer. Interesting. So he rejected our offer. Let's see if there's anyone available still at left end. We have D Ford, Morgan Fox, AJ Epinesa. All scheme fits here. But he wants a 1-year deal. Or he wants a 2-year deal. So AJ Epinesa. Maybe we could try to see what he's on. See if what we could get with him. And at corner, I mean, since you know we got denied, we could just try to go with Greedy Williams, have a solid number 2. I don't think that would hurt. I don't think that would hurt at all. Okay, but they're asking for a lot for him, so we're gonna have to go Rashad Fenton. But it's like even. Well, we could afford this though, so you don't have enough salary. You don't have enough salary. Okay, so maybe he'll sign with us. Let's see if we can get Greedy Williams on this contract right here. So they both rejected us. So we're gonna have to rebuild in the draft to get that left end and cornerback position, all because we do not have the cap room for that. So we have the 25th pick of the draft. Let's see what we can get here, as we need a corner and a left end. So there's no left ends available. There are a couple right ends here, but I guess our best bet's going with a corner here. We got Lance Ingram. Who looks pretty solid. That's really it though. We go Lance Ingram. Let's draft him. Now we're in the second round. We can go after a D tackle, maybe, just to have him play at that D end position. Obviously, because there's no first round value available, but we do have a center here in Terrence Nobles, who I'm just gonna draft because why not? And then we're gonna trade away that kid, see if we can get someone. As we look at the draft details, we got the center. After we got a right tackle, a tight end, a guard, a corner, and a right end. Interesting enough, we're gonna make a move now at the center position. We're gonna upgrade our players, of course, see what is available. So let's look at the team. See, so we have that center we just drafted in Nobles. We have Kershaw backing it up. We just drafted David DeCastro, or signed David DeCastro, so we're pretty solid at that position. At tight end, it looks like we're missing. I thought we re-signed someone, but I guess he's not there yet. But defensively, we're looking pretty good defensively. I'm not too mad. We just need a left end. Just need to get a left end, so that's why we're making that trade, because we need a D end badly, and we just drafted a center, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for that position. So at center, Zach Kershaw. If you have any value anywhere, you're a young center, that'd be pretty nice. I guess you have no value anywhere. It makes no sense to me. You just started all games. Okay, but either way, let's see what team has a left end that we can borrow. They have Porter Gustin that we could borrow from them. I wonder if that would work. They have Tyler Cameron, who we could take from. Oh my god, they don't have the salary cap. We could take both of their guys. Why not? We'll take both of their DNs. We'll give them our center and our fourth. Give them our center and our fourth for their starter and their backup. Cool. So we get the left end position solidified now. I think that'll help us out. Get an 80 overall kid. And what's his name? Something Cameron. His name is Tyler Cameron. So that's pretty nice. But apparently Mabuke is not a left end. I thought he was. He's a right end. So I'm gonna have to fix him into the depth chart. But the team is looking pretty solid. So instead of offense, we have Lamar 99. We have J.K. Dobbins, pretty solid. Fullback, we have Patrick Ricard. Receiver, Marquise Brown, Jamar Chase, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, Miles Boykin. Great receivers. Good amount of tight ends too. I don't know where that other kid is at, so we're gonna have to sign a backup for him. We have Ronnie Stanley, Bradley Bozeman, Terrence Nobles, who needs a backup, David DeCastro, Caleb McGarry. Left end, we have Tyler Cameron is his name. And then right end, this is where we put in Matt Buke back into the lineup. And then Deshaun Langley will be his backup. Cool. D-tackles are pretty solid. I'll leave that alone. Linebackers are pretty good as well, too. So we're going to sign a backup center. We're going to sign a backup center, tight end, all that good stuff. Let's see. At center, we could sign Trey Hopkins to be a backup. That's perfect. We have the cap room for it. And then at tight end, we could sign Mo Alley Cox. Perfect number 2. And then if there's any other position I was missing, maybe D-tackle, we could sign Danny Shelton for 1 year. 1 year. We have depth there, you know. And if it was a corner, like, why not? Razul Douglas. We could. But I'm gonna leave him alone. He's not even that fast either, so I'm gonna leave that alone too. So we picked up those guys. So let's see if we can make the playoffs again and shock the world. So we didn't make the playoffs. We ended up going 8-8. So not a bad year. Not a bad year, I'd say. Obviously, we want to make the playoffs. We finished off with 88 offense and 81 defense. Our offense was 7th in the NFL. So we had 3,300 passing yards. So that means our rushing attack was insane. Our defense was 5th. 29 touchdowns, 10 picks for Lamar Jackson. So it looks like Lamar did get injured, and we ended up picking up Jacoby Brissett. J.K. Downs had 1,000 yards, 9 TDs. Pretty nice. Marquise Brown, 1,500 yards, 11 TDs. That's insane. And he picked up that number 1 role, so that's amazing to see. Patrick Queen had 6 sacks, led the team in tackles and a pick. Justin Madubuike had 8 sacks, so it's a good idea we had him there. But we need more coming out of our defense, but I'm not too bad. I feel like 1 more year with the same crew, we should be really, really solid. So Lamar Jackson is injured from the looks of it, so that's the reason why we were losing. But Marquise Brown's now in 90. Nobles is a 75, so that was a great pickup by us. Patrick Queen's in 85 now, and Tyus Bowser's in 80. So D-line Cameron's in 82. Didn't really do much, but that's okay. What is Lamar's injury? What happened to Lamar during the season? He had a foot fracture. Okay. He had a foot fracture. Okay. You know, can't really do much about that. But Super Bowl this year is Jets Seahawks. Let's see who takes that. Jets end up winning again. So in 2 years in our franchise, Zach Wilson and the Jets won the Super Bowl, and he also won MVP of the league. Very, very interesting to see here. And Adam Gase won Coach of the Year. So the Jets are on a tear. We have 22 players ready to negotiate with us. We have J.K. Dobbins here, who wants a pretty solid deal, and I like him as a running back, so we get him back. Justin Tucker is our kicker, GOAT kicker. Can't see him in any other uniform, so we gotta definitely give him a great deal. Jacoby Brissett, we're letting go. Patrick Queen, star middle linebacker for us. He's our Mike. He's our general, so I'm gonna definitely give him a great deal. We do. Patrick Card, we're letting go. Chuck Clark, he's gonna test free agency. Devin Duvernay, we're gonna let go, even though he's a star receiver. I think he's a good return man too. So if he accepts this, okay, so he did. Jason Oweh hasn't really done much, but he wants a light deal, but he's gonna test free agency, so we're gonna let him do that. Justin Madubuike, he's a potential DN that's just solid, so we're gonna keep him around. Miles Boykin, we're gonna let go. Malik Harrison to be that number 2 next to Patrick Queen is nice for us, so we get him back onto the team. Bradley Bozeman just turned 29. We're gonna keep him onto the team as well. So we make sure we're good at that left guard position. Rest of these positions here, though, we'll let them go. See if we can pick up players that help us out. Iman Lewis Marshall, maybe we pick you up and we get him. And Duke Dawson just as a backup. Let's see if that goes through. We do. Geno Stone is not a bad backup either, so let's see if that goes through. He's gonna test free agency. And Tyree Phillips is our backup guard. Just because I don't know what the case is with David DeCastro, because I didn't look, so he might not even be there. So and then we have Bradley and I as a backup. He's not interested in signing. So we just re-signed a lot of our guys just to see if we keep that same team, because we're looking pretty. We have a lot of potential, of course. Lamar Jackson is back from injury. So let's take a look at the team. So we need a backup. Okay, so David DeCastro retired. So we need a right guard, a center, A right guard, a center. Defense looks pretty solid though. We don't really need to upgrade anything on the defensive side of things. Maybe get a number 2 corner. That would probably help us out. So we have some funds available. We have 19 million available. So let's see what we can do here. So right guard, we have Shaq Mason, who's a free agent, and then there's Alex Kappa and Austin Corbett. We're gonna see if we can sign Austin Corbett to the deal. Hopefully it goes through. Right tackle is McGarry. Center's good. We just need backup. So backup will be Rob Childress. Give him a light deal. Rob Childress, light deal. Left end, we have Cameron. And then we just need a backup. So Jalen Holmes will be his backup if he signs with us. And then D tackle, we really do need a number 2 just to make sure that if Hobbs goes down, we have someone. So we're going to give Deshaun Hand a very light deal because we can always draft D tackle. I'm not really too worried about that position either. Linebackers, I'm pretty okay with. Corners, this is where we need a number 2. We need a number 2 that will stay around. Michael Ojemedia should be pretty solid for us, so we're going to make a deal for him. And then let's see if we could pick these guys up. Let's see if this goes through. So we get Michael. So we just picked up every position we needed. Perfect. That's literally all we needed. All we needed right there. And we also get Jalen Holmes to back up. So we have an 89 offense now and an 83 defense. We just need a backup center that we're gonna draft, obviously. And then defense is pretty solid. We have the linebackers. We have the D line that we wanted. Corners are pretty good. We just need a strong safety. But I don't think we have the funds for it. We do not. So big decision, 5th-year options. We have Tyler Cameron. He brought no value, so we're gonna see what he does. We'll see if he takes off this year. So we go into last week of free agency, and Childress rejected us, so we have to draft the center, and we're gonna have to either sign or draft it like a safety. But let's go to our first pick in the draft. We are here. Scouted. Strong safeties available. No one here, but at free safety, there's Peter Henry, late 1st rounder. He's a hybrid safety, so I'm gonna pick him up. Even though he's a reach, we're gonna pick him up though and move him to strong safety. See how he plays there. And then 2nd round, these are the players that are available for us. Get another center. Could always get centers, huh? Centers are always in abundance. Always in abundance. We have Paul Burr here, who's an early 1st rounder. He's 76 overall. He's gonna be a starter over our guy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we picked him up, and then obviously now I want to see if we can get a guard. At guard position should be pretty. Let's see, or maybe a right tackle, or maybe a left tackle. Nobody. So a guard wouldn't be too bad. Dante Livingston. We pick him up, and then there's really nothing else that we need. So let's advance to the end of the draft. Good draft recap. So after those positions, they ended up drafting a left tackle and a strong safety. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna move. It's either we're gonna change our free safety to a strong safety, but I like Deshaun Elliott being our free safety, so we're gonna move Peter Henry to be our strong safety. He's big too. He's 6'2", so he should be a heavy hitter for us. Hopefully he could become that heavy hitter that we're kind of looking for. So, and then yeah. So let's advance to the first week of preseason. We have an 89 offense, 84 defense. Offensive line looks pretty solid. Good tight ends. Receivers are pretty nice. Lamar Jackson's goated, obviously. Defense is front 7 is looking phenomenal. Corners are looking pretty set. We have Henry and Deshaun Elliott as our starters here. So let's see how these guys perform. I'm thinking we make the playoffs, and we might finish as number 1 seed. So we do make the playoffs, but we ended up being the wild card, going 11-5. So we made the playoffs 3 times out of the 5 years here. We're facing MVP, the winners of the Super Bowl from last year. We were 9-7. We did win our division though, which I did claim that we were gonna do. Our offense was 2nd in the NFL. Lamar led the NFL in passing touchdowns with 41, and our defense was 19th. 41 touchdowns, 11 picks for Lamar. Tyler Huntley had 4 touchdowns as well. J.K. Dobbins had 1,000 yards, 4 TDs, pretty solid. Marquise Brown, 1,100 yards, 10 TDs. Rashad Bateman, 1,000 yards, 11 TDs. Jamar Chase, 900 yards, 8 TDs. Mark Andrews, 695 yards, 10 TDs. So these guys ate. Malik Harrison led the team, In tackles, it looks like our boy was probably injured. Tyler Cameron had 7.5 sacks, so he took off. Picks. Tyler Cameron also had 2 picks as well. That's a shock. That's a shock. We have a 91 offense now. Offensive line, great, obviously. Marquise Brown, great. Rashad Bateman, great. J.K. Dobbins, great. Everyone's just doing great. Everyone's doing phenomenal. This is a phenomenal offense we have. Defense is pretty set, too. Everyone looks pretty healthy. Looks ready to go for the playoffs. Pierre Henry is now in 76, so that's even better for us. So we're facing the Super Bowl winners in the Jets, who were 9-7. We ended up winning. We beat them 49-31. So we ended up winning in a shootout. We beat the Super Bowl winners. We beat Zach Wilson. Wow. So we're facing 11-5 Patriots. Let's see how that game goes. As we are still home for this, we take a dub. So we just win 2 games in a row. We beat the Patriots and the Jets. So now we're facing the 12-4 Jaguars, who are home. Tyus Bowser just tore his labrum, so he'll be out for 3 weeks. So we will not have him for the Super Bowl if we win. In the NFC, they have the Cowboys and Vikings going at it. We're the 3rd seed going against the number 1 seed in the Jaguars. So let's see if we can take care of business. I have faith in this team. Maybe we could get past over the hump and head into the Super Bowl. Let's see if we can do it. We do. We beat them 41-10. We head into the Super Bowl. Yo, this team, I might have made a goated team. We beat the Jaguars 41-10. I don't think any of our guys would make the Pro Bowl because we are not in the, because we are headed to the Super Bowl. But we beat the Jaguars 41-10 away from home. So now we're going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday against the Cowboys. They're home. We got a lot of players getting their upgrades. So worked hard for this moment. 92 offense, 87 defense. Everyone's confidence is very high right now. Lamar Jackson is doing his thing. Marquise Brown is. J.K. Dobbins. Offensive line is holding up properly. Jamar Chase is doing his thing too. Defense, Patrick Queen is doing his thing. D-line is holding it down. Corners are holding it down. So let's see if we get this job done. Let's see if we can beat the Cowboys and bring a Lombardi trophy like Lamar Jackson promised. We lose by 6. We lose 44-38. How do we go to a shootout with them? Zeke won MVP. DeMarcus Lawrence won Defensive Player of the Year. Damn, yo. We went to the Super Bowl and lost. That must have been a crazy game. It must have been a crazy game. It had to have been. It literally had to have been a crazy game. Damn, yo. We go all the way to lose. Hold on. Let's look at the team schedule. I'm not mad, though. I mean, I am mad, but we blasted the competition. So, first one against Zach Wilson. He got sacked 3 times and threw 2 picks. Lamar Jackson threw 5 TDs, so he was on a mission. And we ran all over them. So, he was on a mission, of course. And if we look at the defense, Tyler Cameron took off. Tyler Cameron was on a mission this postseason as well. Marlon Humphrey got 2 picks on him. Then we faced the Patriots at home. Mac Jones limited him. Sacked him 3 times. Lamar Jackson did his thing, of course. We did our thing. And, of course, it was Tyler Cameron doing it again along with Eric Thomas. Then we faced the conference championship away from home. We blasted him, too. Lamar Jackson, 4 TDs, got sacked twice. Trevor Lawrence had 1 TD, got picked off, and he got sacked twice. And our rushing attack was all over them. And our defense, Tyler Cameron, he had a sack every single game, like so far from the looks of it. Patrick Queen got a pick. And then obviously the Super Bowl that we ended up losing in, 527 yards of offense. Lamar Jackson threw 3 touchdowns and threw 2 picks. And then Dak had 3 touchdowns and also got sacked twice. Oh, they both got sacked twice. So it was a very even game. Lamar threw a lot of yards, but Zeke, 3 touchdowns, 18 carries, 148 yards, so we could not stop him running the ball, but our receivers were all over them. But the rushing attack was what got us from the looks of it. DeMarcus Lawrence had a sack, 2 sacks. Patrick Queen and Deshaun Hand both had 2 sacks. Damn, yo. So it was just really, we couldn't stop the run, but we really did everything we can in our willpower to try to win. So I'm not even mad. It was a great game. It must have been a great game to see. But I'm happy with how that went, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Hit the like button, subscribe for new, comment down below what other teams you want to see me rebuild. I had a blast rebuilding the Ravens because I did not expect us to go all the way to the Super Bowl like this and actually blow away the competition. Kudos to the Cowboys, of course, but that was fun. If you guys enjoyed watching, hit the like button, subscribe for new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, you gotta be